Drew Alba alongside manager of the Walla Walla Suites, Colby Watilo, for another edition of Countdown with Colby. 2 straight against the Elks, 3 straight in general. 4 of your last 5, the Suites are rolling.
There we go. Yeah, it's been a good turnaround. You know, we came into the All-Star break talking about losing 5 of 6, and you know, now here we are, kind of putting some good games together. Obviously, a great start to this series for us against Ben to win the series in the first 2 after getting swept by them on the road. So it's huge to kind of answer back and you know, throw some punches back here with the chance to sweep here at Borleski.
Going back all the way to the Corvallis Knights series where you get swept, that's really where the gauntlet kind of started, and the Suites have stayed afloat right around that 500 mark, and you put yourself in a great position for a playoff push. How do you finish out this gauntlet? You know, it's still a Barry series coming up, and then you travel and you got 9 games in 9 days.
Yeah, it's gonna, you know, I think we're just part of the way through the gauntlet, you know.
Right.
I don't think we're not quite seeing the light at the end of the tunnel yet as far as the test here to end the regular season.
Yeah.
But I do think we take it one game at a time. That's what we're doing a good job of right now is coming out, trying to put our best effort out there, one game at a time, one pitch at a time. You know, not looking too far ahead, not dwelling on what's happened in the past or, you know, where could we have been had this gone differently for us. You know, there's nothing you can control in that situation. So doing a good job coming out, putting up a good fight, battling back in some of these games. You know, making it a little interesting last night to end the game, but at the end of the day, we get the job done. A win is a win, and I'm proud of the effort that the guys are putting in every day.
Yeah, it's good for the fan base. You know, keep them in it, keep them right there. Speaking of the fan base, I haven't seen a playoff game from the Suites since 2019. Does that go through your mind at all? Kind of trying to give these fans who have been day in and day out something to cheer for?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, ever since I got this, you know, was fortunate enough to get in this position as a head coach, and that's something I've kind of put a lot of stock in personally. Just trying to build a roster to coach these guys up to try to inspire an effort that the fans can get excited about and the fans can be proud of. And, you know, when we go on the road, are we representing the Walla Walla Valley in a way that I would like us to? And I think so many people in this community would like us to. And I think we've done exactly that. And so, yeah, that's definitely been something that's maybe been on my mind personally, a little bit more maybe than some of the other guys. Obviously, almost all of our guys, it's their first summer in Walla Walla, outside of a few of them. And so, you know, I think the doing it for the fans and doing what we can, I think has a little more ties to maybe myself and maybe our coaching staff. But, you know, I think the guys are really buying in. They're feeling the support. They're seeing the support they're getting when they come out to the ballpark. And so I would not put it past any of these guys. These guys all feel the exact same way about trying to get a playoff game on this field in front of these fans.
Yesterday was obviously a great game, but it was also a sad day. Tanner Kern leaves. He's the guy that, you know, comes at the very start. You know, everyone kind of gravitates towards. Remember our first bus ride, he's yelling back, "Who wants to play Among Us?" and stuff like that. Just a guy that really lifts the mood. Also on the baseball field, a West Coast League All-Star, finished the season hitting over 300. How do you kind of fill those gaps, and what do you want to say about Tanner?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tanner was an incredible asset to this team. It was a blast having him around. It's sad to see him go here before the end of this thing. I know he's going to be cheering us on from back at home. And so, yeah, obviously a bummer to see him go. That's the unfortunate reality of summer baseball today. And so we continue to move forward. You know, we've brought in some pieces to kind of help in positionally and with what we're doing. You know, Christosaurus being a left-handed bat, kind of that power guy from the left side, kind of filling in a little bit of that void that we had with Tanner leaving. Positionally, you know, a first baseman, corner outfield type. We've seen Nikhil Beasley playing some first base as well, and a place that I think Nikhil's been a great, pleasant surprise at first base, and the way he's defended it, you know, as his bat's gotten going, it's given us a lot of options to get him into the lineup, which has been huge. So, yeah, bummed to see guys go as their summer comes to an end for various reasons, but you know, the grind and the focus remains, hey, how can we continue to field a competitive ball club, put our best lineup out there that gives us a chance to win the game?
Yeah, I mentioned a guy like Nikhil, knock on wood, he only hasn't been a competent defender. He's been a plus defender up until this point over at first. Look across the diamond, Esteban Olazaba over at third base. I think he jumped 40 inches in the air on that line drive to left. One of the most sure-handed defenders I've personally ever seen. How huge is it that, you know, now he's heading towards the top? The lineup comes in and gives this team a little bit of a spark.
Yeah, Zaba's been great. He's an exciting player. He brings a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He brings a great presence with what he does on the field. It's, you know, we were talking as a coaching staff mid-game. It's, you look at him at third base or on that left side of the infield, and he's stalking the baseball as it's coming into the hitting zone. He's ready. He wants the ball to be hit to him. he wants the opportunity to go make a play, and man, he's made a couple of plays going to both sides.
Took one away from T there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wish. Hey, that's the right read, right? Him coming across, able to cut that angle off, and that's an excellent play. That's not a play that every third baseman is able to make. And I also think about the backhand on the chopper hit down the line, and he's able to plant and rifle one across the diamond. And so, he's been a very welcomed addition to the infield. He's exciting. The guys are rallying behind him. He's a guy that guys get excited to see have success out there, and so it's been fun to have him around.
You mentioned that killer's mentality. You hear it a lot at the dish, not necessarily out on the field defensively. How huge is it that I want the baseball to come to me? I'm not scared. I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, it's one thing to anticipate and say, hey, if the ball's hit to me, where am I going to go? That's step number one, but now the second step is, hey, I want that baseball hit in my direction. I want the opportunity to make a play. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Like, let the ball come to me. Let me finish this inning and get us back in the dugout on offense. And so, it's something that you can try to instill from a mentality and from a coaching standpoint, but it's really an inherent thing that guys kind of have, or it's something that they need to work on. And so, it's great having guys in the infield that play that way. We want guys all over the field. We want 7 guys behind our pitcher that feel that exact same way of, man, I want the baseball hit to me. When it does, I'm going to make the most of my opportunity, do it for the boys, and help us get a win.
When you look at yesterday's ball game, one guy really stuck out to me. Jacob Courtney comes out, runners on second and third, nobody out, and he gets 3 straight. Yeah. How huge is that for him, who's been recovering from an injury, goes 2 2/3 innings, that matches a season best. For a guy that's been working so hard, takes longer for his arm to recover, to go out there and not only contribute, but arguably that was the difference in that ball game.
Yeah, I know. I think you hit it on the head. I do think that Courtney's outing yesterday was extremely pivotal in us getting the win in that game. I was extremely excited to see that for Court. He's a guy that works hard. He's a guy that, like you're saying, his body fights back at times, but for him to come out, have an extended inning like that, to throw strong for 2 2/3, to do more than we really could have asked him to do on the mound, and that was awesome to see. I know it's big for him and his confidence, and he's going to be a guy that we rely on. When he's up and ready to go, he's going to be a guy that coming down the stretch is going to be really important to success. So I think when he's good, our pitching staff is better, and we saw that yesterday.
A guy like Nakoa comes in for just the 1 out. His arm feeling good still?
Oh yeah, no, he's doing great. That was a strategic. Hey, we had him ready to go, and it wasn't looking like we were going to need him. We were just going to get it to Fiddy in the 9th, and we end up coming in to pick up that last third for Court, and Koa does all that we could have needed from him. That's a management thing, trying to keep him low, coming off a pretty long pitch count in his last outing at Marion. So, not run him out there for too long now, and now I would not be surprised to see him back up during this homestand on the mound for the Sweets.
Sometimes all you need is that one big out.
Yeah.
All right, looking at Owen Estabrook yesterday, he hits the big home run. Does get pulled. Anything to go with that, or is that just some strategic?
Yeah, just player management and doing what we need to do to make sure guys are in the best position to have success, not only on any given night, but also as we push into these last 2 weeks. We've got a lot of games coming up. We've gotten hardly any rest, on the schedule. And so making some decisions like that get some guys off their feet, that maybe split some games up so that, the burden and the physical toll isn't as high is something that our coaching staff is going to evaluate. Sure. Maybe look to strategically use it, at times with certain guys. So, nothing too crazy. Just a decision we made, and give him time to make sure he keeps his legs underneath him as we make final stretch.
How about that home run, though?
Yeah,
a little bat flip down the first base line.
Big swing. He was glad to see it go out, because he was going to feel like a jerk if it didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And it just snuck over. It looked like it was way gone. It did just get over the wall there. 365 feet. There you go.
All right. It looked a lot deeper than that.
I know.
I was no doubter off the bat.
It was a no doubter.
Pretty. I think relatively calm wind last night.
Yeah,
you don't get
for sure.
The help,
the burlesque wind out towards the line,
out into the sails. So
you mentioned the short rest, the 9-game stretch coming up. We've mentioned that guys are leaving the team, but on the flip side of the coin, that's happening everywhere around the West Coast League. That's not Sweet specific. If anything, the Sweets have done a great job at kind of keeping that main cluster together. How do you take advantage of that when you look across the West Coast League and goes, those guys, we're tired. Those guys are even more.
Yeah, right. I think everyone is, the guys that find themselves on a roster here in the WCL coming down the stretch, or all that's really happening is guys are getting asked to do more. It's guys are tired, but the expectation and the hey, can you give us another inning? Can you give us one more out? Hey, can you give us one more day in the fields? Things like that those are the conversations that are happening all over the league. And so it's great for us to have those guys that have that have been around, that have, gotten their feet underneath them, gotten into a rhythm here with the Sweets, and, able to kind of play the game of giving them strategic rest versus, hey, we're trying to put you in there for, as many games as you can until you break down, and then we got to get you out. And so, we're doing what we need to do to keep our depth that allows us to get guys days off and not to be reliant on just 2 or 3 guys in a certain spot or in a certain part of the field. And so it's been a grind, and it's a continual work in progress, but I've been happy with what we've been able to do. I've been happy with the way guys have stepped up, and guys are moving around positionally a little bit and giving guys breaks here and there. And you're going to see Billy Staldeferi at shortstop tonight. First time all summer, right? A guy who's been here for a while, but he's a guy with tools to play there in the middle infield, so going to give him a run there, and and see if we can move some guys around, and just see how many options we can create for our position players on the field to get bats in the lineup, because it's a necessity if you want to win.
Yeah, all about balancing that risk reward, right? No one has that crystal ball, but just trying to do the best they can. Look at Wenatchee released like an SOS, we need pitchers thing. I mean, it's going across the entire West Coast League, so it's kind of just how you respond. All right, Coach, last question before we move into our question of the day. This game is obviously pivotal, game number 3 against the Elks, but you do win 2 of 3, and there's a huge series coming up against the Marion Berries, who are that last team looking in. Not necessarily like a quote-unquote punt today, but do you look at it as we need to be rested for these next 3 games after today?
I think we're playing the game ahead of us to win. We still have a game against a team that is going to, if we lose tonight, they jump us back in the standings, right? And we find ourselves back in 4th place. And, I would love to take care of business tonight, distance ourselves with the Elks, maybe get some help from our sister team down the street, the Yakima, the Pippins, and see if
got done yesterday.
Yeah, see they get the job done. Can they do that again? And we find ourselves in an even better spot. It's you're starting to add up the wins and losses and see where a win here and a loss here, how does what kind of advantage does that give you? And so I think we're looking to take care of business tonight. Yeah, we're going to be smart and want to make sure that we don't go into game 1 of tomorrow's series on running on fumes, but at the same time, it's I think we're gonna find a good balance between obviously don't have to compete to win the game we have in front of us, but giving guys the day that need it so that they're ready to go tomorrow.
All about balance. Right?
That's right.
There you go. All right, this leads us to our question of the day with manager of the Walla Walla Sweets, Colby Watilo. Coach, I'm gonna give you 5 baseball feelings, and you're not gonna know which one's gonna come next, and you're gonna have to rank them 1 through 5. Okay.
Okay.
So you know how it works?
Yeah.
So I give you one. Just pick a number.
Okay, yeah.
All right, the first one, it'll be a nice and simple one. You're on the mound, you get a big strikeout.
Just a big strikeout, like just generic,
Let's put like the Courtney strikeout yesterday with 1 gone, and you get the strikeout, and now there's 2 outs with runners on 2nd and 3rd. You're not out of the woods, but it's a big strikeout.
I'll put that right in the middle. I think that's 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, getting hit by a pitch. You get on base.
Yeah, right.
But you're getting hit by just hit the shoulder from the shoulder.
I'll say 4.
4? Okay. How about this? Hitting a home run. Not 4th inning. It's not a walk-off or anything, but even a homer's a homer, right?
Yeah. I'm going to go 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. So
okay.
Leaving number 1 and number 5.
We'll have to see. All right. What do you think's coming up?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
All right. This is getting thrown out of the ball game.
Oh, man.
Again, another one's kind of like,
yeah.
I feel like it'd be kind of cool. You haven't gone thrown out yet.
Not yet, no.
On the other side, there's probably a call that didn't go your way. So.
Yeah. I'm going to go 5 because of the new fine system in the baseball.
You don't got that bread for it?
We can't be affording that.
All right, I think you're going to be glad you saved this last one. Hitting a walk-off to end the game.
Number 1.
Number 1. That's like,
let's go.
That's exactly. And I didn't change the list. That was where I was going to go with.
Sweet.
So there you go.
I think we nailed it.
Getting hit by a pitch, number 4. I mean, 5 getting thrown out. I mean, you can't really draw that up any better.
Yeah.
Can't drop the start to the homestand any better either. 2 straight. Today, a chance to sweep the Bend Elks right after the Elks in early July swept the Sweets. Could be some sweet revenge. Who knows? Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Go Sweets.